it in the history of the Chrysler Arena. There's a football stadium nearby that holds 100,000 folks, and they could use every seat for this one this afternoon. It's a one-game shootout for the Big Ten Basketball Championship. It is the Wolverines of Michigan against the Hoosiers of Indiana coming up. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I am Brent Musburger. You all know when Bobby Knight's in business, his team starts to mature as they come down the stretch. And the coach is loose for this one, let me tell you that. What about Coach Bobby Knight getting ready for this? He's already won 7 Big Ten championships.
Bobby knows what the month of February is all about. He has had great success throughout that period of time. He's taken a team of, I think, underachievers and put them in a position to win a Big Ten championship, and that's what his first motivation is every year.
Now, at the other end, Billy, we've got Bill Frieder. Last year, he tore up this conference. He's trying to win back-to-back titles.
Under a lot of pressure, because everybody was shooting at Michigan. I think Bill has done a great job getting his ball club back and getting him here to win the championship. Today, he has to be careful that he's not fighting Bobby Knight, that he's got his team composed, positive, and ready to play, because there is that tendency to worry too much about Bobby and not enough of the court, what's going on outside.
And welcome to the University of Michigan's Chrysler Arena for today's Big Ten championship game between Indiana and Michigan. Before we have our starters, I'd like to introduce the 2 Michigan seniors who will be in their final game today in a non-starting role. First of all, a 6'4" guard from Inglewood, California, number 23, Ron Gibbous. And now a 6'9" forward from Lansing, Michigan, number 15, Rob Henderson. Now here are the starting lineups for today's game. For Indiana, at guard, a 6'2" junior from Newcastle, Indiana, number 12, Steve Alford. Michigan's guard, 6'3" sophomore from Canton, Ohio, number 25, Gary Grant. At guard for Indiana, 6'4" senior from Anderson, number 21, Winston Morgan. Michigan guard, 6'5", junior from Detroit, number 11, Antoine Jobert. At forward for Indiana, 6'6" freshman from Cincinnati, number 20, Rick Calloway. Michigan forward, 6'6" senior from Riviera Beach, Florida, making his final start here in Chrysler Arena, number 40, Richard Relford. Indiana forward, 6'6" junior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 34, Andre Harris. Michigan's forward making his final start here in Chrysler, a 6'8" senior, number 53, co-captain Butch Wade. At center for Indiana, a 6'7" junior from Westchester, Illinois, number 24, Gerald Thomas. Michigan center making his final start here in Chrysler Arena, a 6'11" senior, number 42, co-captain Roy Cartley. The Indiana coach is Bob Knight. Michigan is coached by Bill Frieder.
Solomon tosses it up, controlled by Michigan. This is Grant, one of their fine guards, along with Jobert.
And obviously, man-to-man by Indiana, everybody playing strong, weak-side defense. Tough to get anything down inside easy.
This is Jobert to Tarpley. From the corner, Jobert moves in, and here is Grant off the fake. Game's first shot is missed, but Wade with an offensive rebound, and back up is Relford. All the way by Harris. Here come the Hoosiers. It's Alford on the right. Gets it over to Harris. Tapped in by Thomas, won't fall, and controlled by Callaway, and finally Wade has it for Michigan.
We set a war, Brent, every rebound. Good block there and a nice screen by Tarpley, setting up the open pathway for Relford.
Michigan trying to tie it. In case you just joined us, this is for the Big Ten Championship. Indiana and Michigan, all even 13-4, and they're deadlocked here at 4-all.
That's what makes Roy Tarpley something special. He can move outside and take a 15 to 17-foot shot. Good job by Steve
Offer with a good pass, knocked away from Thomas Howard, and Tarpley with a hand, and Grant is back for the Wolverines. To the corner, and Jobert. Callaway rebounds, knocked away by Wade. A great play, didn't put it down, and Relford underneath.
Grant, one of the things that you can't ever deny, and that is a senior that does not want to lose his last game at home. And Relford and Tarpley, they're just playing possessed out there right now.
Michigan leading by 2. 14 minutes to go, first half, Big Ten Championship in the Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Jobert, the Wolverines.
He is so tough because he uses that body to shield the ball when he goes inside. Good fake.
Off a fake and a second one. Tarpley jumped out.
Got to be somebody inside if Tarpley is standing outside with a guard. They can't find him. It's Thomas.
Lead pass to Jobert for the layup. He got in too deep, and now he comes back for it.
That was a great pass by Tarpley, and the fact that he led Jobert, but he threw a soft pass. If he'd have thrown that thing on the line, it would have gone out of bounds.
Callaway has it knocked away. Anderson hands it off on the steal. Jobert penetrates.
The Judges had some big games. Bobby Knight's got to be disappointed with his team not able to get it inside.
And the Hoosiers, who are outmanned, played their hearts out in that one.
10 seconds. Jobert. 6 seconds. Inside it goes. The shot blocked. Grant puts it up. Scores.
So Michigan wound up 16-2, having put away all their rivals. And now for the 7th time in 8 years, the Big Ten title race has gone down to the last week. And on this occasion, it's the final day. Michigan and Indiana for the championship, 18-12. Michigan leading Indiana, and the Wolverines with the ball.
Of course, I guess the greatest moment for these two clubs was in '76 when Bobby Knight took his club to the Final Four and only to face Michigan for the championship games. And great battles that year between those two super teams. Johnny Orr then coaching Michigan. Bill Frieder was his assistant. Johnny Orr then coaching Michigan. Bill Frieder was his assistant. Grant showing good patience.
Here is Rice, the freshman. And Tarpley with another offensive rebound for the Wolverines, and they're out muscling Knight's men at the offensive end.
Roy Tarpley has developed into probably the best center in the country, true center. Here you go. A super job. There's Tarpley going back court. That wasn't necessary. When you're having a good game, you don't want to take the chance of hitting somebody with the elbow and be thrown out.
Now, the player I mentioned who is in for the first time, number 41, is Glenn Rice. He's out of Flint, Michigan, Northwestern High School. You're going to hear a lot about him. Jobert with the dribble for Frieder.
Jobert trying to do a little too much.
Tarpley's jump half up over the top of Thomas.
Tarpley is really fired up. You don't often see a big man that's showing that kind of leadership. Meyer in there. Harris is not a big scorer and not a good passer in this offense.
Harris outside and short of everything. Rice hands the ball off to Grant. Down the floor come the Wolverines. Jobert wants Tarpley.
Timeout, Indiana. Timeout, Indiana. Gotta be. Yep.
At 24-12, Roy Tarpley and the Wolverines doing a number on the Hoosiers.
A lot of people used to say when Michigan had some talent that they were kind of weak playing a lot of zone. Now they play that man-to-man as tough as anybody. Good move on the inside.
Morgan gliding down the baseline. Cuts the Michigan lead to 10.
And although Gary Grant has not scored, he's the guy that sets that tempo defensively because he can go out and hawk a big score.
Cross court to Jobert. And Tarpley play catch. Little two-man game, and Jobert hits it.
Nice little two-man game between Jobert and Tarpley. Tarpley hitting them and then setting a solid screen.
Jobert is 4 of 7. Tarpley is 4 of 6, so they lead the Wolverines offensively. 7:30 to go, first half.
Jobert always looks to me like he's out of shape, but he can come up with the big shots.
On the steal. Here comes Rice. He'll put on a number.
Well, Brent, I said at the top of the show, I hope I said that I think Indiana had overachieved this year. I think we're seeing right now that Michigan is a far superior ball club in regard to the athletic talent that they have. For Indiana to have this game to the point where they're playing for the championship, I think is a real testimony to the ball club and their coach, because I don't think they're that talented a team.
A turnover off Myers' hands. It goes to the Wolverines.
And they're facing a Michigan team that not only has the talent, but really wants this ballgame.
I see Coach Bo Schembechler up in the stands right now, and you want to know what he's doing? He's watching Bobby Knight, checking how he's reacting to what's going on the floor. They're great friends.
Not a good pass by Grant. Tarpley was double-teamed. Good job.
And Grant with the field goal.
That's a good job that time by Tarpley because all he wanted to do is keep the ball alive.
Danny Manning with 18 points. Kansas and Michigan, two powerhouses. Duke comes back on Virginia in the second half, and Johnny Dawkins with 24 in that one.
Oh, what speed by Grant! He came out of the pack to pick that one off.
And Alford will check right back in.
You'd have to say the Michigan fans were into this game at the outset, too. They're putting on some show here.
Down the baseline they come, and Rice with the field goal.
Well, Rice has become a big scorer coming off the bench, considering the minutes played. Just gives Bill Frieder an entirely different dimension with a scorer coming off in the front line. Steve Alford looking inside, but without Thomas in the ball game, who's going to score in there?
Callaway moves inside, goes to the left hand. He's a fine-looking athlete.
Well, he is so quick with that first step.
Relford on the floor with Tarpley. Thompson, guard Thompson 30. Gives it to Relford and gets it back. Henderson, 15, is there to screen, and Alford comes through it. Relford from the corner.
Yeah, that's a little bit farther out than Richie Relford likes to shoot his jumper, but he does have a good 15-footer. High post offense now, a little scissors play off of Tarpley.
Now Thompson's left alone.
That's the old Kentucky scissors play. They say nothing's new in basketball, just a revision of something that used to be run many years ago. The athletes just change and get better.
Trying to get it to Chadlow, and he demonstrates again that he is not a good passer. Thompson dishes to Tarpley.
Well, what happens to Harris is that he telegraphs his passes. Doesn't sit the ball down in his chest so he can get the defender to a point where he can get the pass through in the lane.
They have got to get a run going. Down to 25 seconds first half.
Well, if you're Michigan, you've got a nice lead here, and you still, with only 4-second differential on the clock, it'd be smart to hold it down toward the end.
Grant penetrates.
Unless you can get a lick. Now Indiana, you know, you can't say hold it for one. They've got to get it off here. They've got it in the hands of the right guys.
Off a fake, Alford rejected, and that'll do it the first half. It's been all maize and blue. The end of the first half with Michigan leading Indiana 44-25, and we'll return after this commercial and a word from your local station. They start him young here in the state of Michigan. And Bo Schembechler loves to see him start that way and come to the maize and blue. There's his wife, Millie, on his left, and that is his son, Shimmy, sitting right next to him. And Bo dropped by at practice yesterday and said that the Wolverines had done a good job of recruiting. He had some linebackers coming in, and he loves the game of basketball. He's here for every one of their home games.
Well, Wade and Relford are bookends, aren't they? There's another one-handed pass on the inside. Very difficult to control that.
This one he whips across to Relford underneath.
Well, you knew Relford was going to spin on with his right-hand side. Bobby Knight upset with his ball players for not giving some weak side help there. They have an unusual way of breaking the tie in the Big Ten now. First, they look and see how the two teams did against each other, and if that not be the case, then it's clearly decided there. The team that last went to the NCAA tournament is the one that gets to go as the #1 seed.
Rammed back in by Wade. That is Butch Wade out of Boston, Massachusetts. Up in the front line, they come from Michigan, Florida, and Massachusetts. So Bill Frieder, who is a tireless worker, has recruited nationwide for this program.
Not a good shot.
Relford, and he was fouled as he came out to score the basket.
Now Michigan again just dominating the offensive boards. Jobert's shot was not a good one.
Pass back to Wade, short.
Now Wade probably doesn't take
Tarpley
any
is there.
Again, offensive rebounding, Brent. Rebound margin this year, Michigan in the tough Big Ten has a 5.4 rebound margin over their opponents. They're #1. Indiana, all the way down at #7, has a minus rebounding situation. They get out rebounded 1.6 a game. Grant got a piece of Alford's arm on that one.
Wade and Knight will give the official an earful when they come back down this way.
Indiana playing right now to try to get themselves some momentum. They'll be in the NCAA tournament for sure, but they have stuck with a real beating so far here today.
Grant on the one-handed pass, and Tarpley comes to the basket for the score, and he'll have a chance to make it a three-pointer for Roy Tarpley, who is playing his last game here in the Chrysler Arena. Indiana trailing by 20. They have 9:30 to do something about it. I'll tell you a game I'd like to see is Michigan-Kansas.
That is a strong possibility.
Henderson.
Henderson hits one there. His big basket, of course, was that basket he hit to beat Illinois earlier this season.
Thompson. And here's Tarpley alone.
Henderson.
Good, strong rebound, and that's somebody off the bench for Frieder.
Yeah, we're talking about first power forward sub, but
Thomas playing with those 4 fouls. That, too, hurt Indiana's chances. He got into foul trouble early in this game. Alford maneuvers. Tarpley steals it. Lead to Thompson.
whoa, nice move by Thompson. That's a strong move to the hoop. You can see Dadlow's getting tired. He's not used to playing this many minutes.
Stu Robinson, 22, gives it to Callaway, and he's blocked by Tarpley, who has done it at both ends. Joubert, and it is 4-on-1 to Rice. Oh, they've turned them loose here this afternoon in the Chrysler. We're looking at one of the most impressive displays that any team has put on all season long, and they're doing it in a pressure cooker. The Big Ten championship game. Jadlow banging away for Knight.
That's 2 jumpers he's hit from the top of the key. But it's too little, too late for IU.
Thompson to Joubert inside. And there's Henderson. Joubert.
They've just been awesome on the offensive board. One
of the statistics that Bill Frieder researched. Bobby Saturday night, when he's had an opportunity to win a Big Ten championship the last week of the season, his record coming into this game is 14 wins and 1 defeat. And Frieder is about to make it 14-2.
And Bill Frieder not taking any prisoners here. He's had Tarpley in that ball game, as Tarpley hasn't been out, I don't believe.
The Thoroughbreds are going the distance. It's Kentucky Derby time.
Hey! Good block by Harris. Well, he's a quick leaper.
Tarpley right back. It's been all Michigan. With 3:30 to go, it is 74-49. The Wolverines are going to win back-to-back Big Ten championships. Javro missing Thompson out.
That's a 5-on-0. Brent, I've never seen that. That was a 5-on-0 fast break against the Indiana basketball team. That's got to be a basketball first.
Seated down alongside the coach now. The men who have carried this team up front. Relford has not missed a game in 4 years. Thompson bangs it in.
Garth Thompson's a very solid guard coming off the bench. He knows when to shoot the ball. Well, there are a lot of people sitting in the stands didn't expect.
Well, they wanted a 30-point victory overnight. It's 80-52, and it's over. Michigan has won the Big Ten. In Ann Arbor in just a moment.